Now we've reached the part of the podcast where we're going to talk about betting and who better to come on. David at Better DP21. We are a robust 36, 23, and 3 following 2 weeks ago, betting NFL, making some money. Have been following our bets. David, how you doing today, my man?
Doing well, man. It's been a long week. Glad it's Friday. I'm looking forward to Super Bowl weekend like everybody else right now.
It should be a good game on paper. Very intriguing matchup. I will say this: the more I dive into Jalen Hurts, I'm starting to like him more and more. Just becoming more and more of a fan of his, just on all the stuff that he's had to overcome in his career with the Saban BS and what happened at Philly when he got drafted. But I'm hoping it's going to be a great game. The big question is, my man, I didn't see you last week, man. What'd you do last weekend? Like, what'd you do last Sunday, dude? Because my place had never looked so clean in its life last Sunday. I mean, like, I was like doing floors, doing the showers. My place looked immaculate come Sunday night, Monday morning.
I'll tell you what I did. I went into a dark hole of playing poker with one of my boys for about a 48-hour binge through the weekend. Like, I'm telling you, we were doing back-to-back tournaments like all evening and night and day until almost 3 a.m. And, catching some rest, jumping back up and doing it all over again. So to that point, I went into a hole of poker for the weekend versus, anything football related.
So you had a better weekend than me. I mean, I
think so.
You were playing poker. I was here cleaning my place.
Yep.
Good to know.
Making money, cashed on one of the 2 tournaments. It was good. It was great.
Well, I did go to. I didn't tell you this story. I'll tell everyone listening too. I had to go to a new dentist because my dentist. I guess this was the one thing
on the weekend.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm a busy guy. This dentist is open
open on the weekend.
Dentists here are open one Saturday a month. So I got an appointment. I go. I have my phone going because I'm sitting on VodTech. Pick'em -110. So I'm like looking at my phone, doing that thing. Go in. I'm filling out the paperwork. My head's down. New dentist, new area, and I hear in the screechiest voice, "Oh my God, you gotta be fucking kidding me." Some girl that I dated 4 to 5 years ago comes strolling in. Needless to say, her and I did not have the best breakup in the world. Yeah, but yeah, that was a fun time, dude. That was a fun time. I said, "Good to see you too," and she was like, "Huh." So yeah, that was fun. That was really, really, really fun at the dentist for me, my friend.
Sounds like it.
So that was my big Saturday activity. So let's jump into these bets. I got some weird player props, some weird props of the game, but I do have some reasoning behind them. You are going to have your total for the half and a side. I'll let you start us off, my friend.
All right, very good. And hey, been a pleasure. What a wild season has been. Like you said, robust numbers for us coming to this point. I also just, I really just want to say thank you for all that time. This has been awesome. So jumping into the first half here, we're looking at, the over of 24.5. My model has got this at an average of about 31 points. You can get plus 100 odds on that number of hitting the over right now. So I really like the edge for this. I mean, you're definitely talking about, strong both defensive teams and offensively, but their passing defense is actually middle of the road for both of these teams. So I can really see them airing it out early within the first half. I mean, really all game. I'm going to be rooting for the over in this one just as a whole, but your best edge in terms of anything that it comes down to for this first half is or just the total between the full game and the first half is going to be in the first half. So I'm going with the over 24.5. I love my edge there, and I'm taking it where I can.
It's going to be a real interesting matchup. There's so many dominoes that can fall with what are the Eagles going to do for the Lane Johnson injury? How are the Chiefs going to stop their deficiencies defending the middle? which I feel is going to open up something else. And to piggyback on your total on your thought process, the Chiefs run the cover 2
Right.
to protect against their DBs, their young DBs. If the Eagles start running the ball with success, which I both think they will, they're going to switch over to the cover 1, which is going to open stuff up in the passing game for Brown, Smith, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I could see this game ballooning out too in that first half. So I like that play a lot. My first one has to do with the first play of the game. Will there be a touchback? I went no plus 160. 4 of the last 5 have been returned. Looking at the Eagles and the Chiefs, they have low touchback percentages. Also, I was talking to my boy Reed, who I used to coach, played college football, played a very high level of D3 football. And his comment about this was, guys in these championship type games are just so amped up that they don't care. They're just going to, first play of the game, they're going to try to make a play. They're going to take it out. And then I was talking to my boy David, and another David, not you. You're the original David. You're the original David. I was talking to my other
Appreciate it.
You're the OG David. I was talking to Dave Weaver, who I've gotten to know over this past year. And he mentioned to me why he liked this play was he was listening to McAfee, and McAfee said that the ball that is kicked off to start the game isn't a ball that the kickers get beforehand, because the ball goes into the Hall of Fame. So normally what a kicker does, they scruff it up, they make it the way they want it so they can get what they want in the kickoff. That's not the thing with the kickoff. It's a brand new ball. After it's shipped off to Canton. They can't make the scuffing on it that they normally would. That's why the kicks tend to be a little bit short. So I think there's value at no at plus 160. So that's why I locked that play in.
I just love the odds of that.
Yeah.
I just think that, I mean, every situational factor you just described supports it. But I mean, I would think that anyway, to your point, first play of the game. Who doesn't want to try and go out and make a play first play of the game? Like, everybody knows the focus is on you catching that ball and doing something with it. And nobody wants to just see, oh, let's just come up to the 20 and 25 and, then start the game. No, like, get up there, catch the ball, run it out, see if, like, you can make something exciting happen. So I'm with you. I love the odds on that. I think that's an awesome prop bet right there.
I think it's a great thing. I was a little jealous because when Reed told me about it, he got it at plus 185. So I was a little
wow.
party.
Yeah. So that's Vegas realizing they made a mistake.
What is your next bet, my friend?
All right. So keeping with the trend of first half and full game, I'm going full game Kansas City Chiefs money line plus 100. My lines actually got this closer to -1 or just 1 overall. It's at 1.5. Was as high as 2.5 or 2 within some books when this came out about a week or so ago. And the lines obviously come down a little bit. However, this is also my thought. I look at where the ticket money is. It's 67% of the money is on Philly. And I am just that person to go with the underdog at that point. And you know me, I like to take the dog money where I can. You're getting even money on a very proven AFC team with the Chiefs. And they've been to this show like 3 of the last 5 years or something like that. And it's I look at it like Vegas's liability is on Philly right now, and I do not want to be on the side of the public for this kind of game. So this has kind of been my thought process the last 2 years of the Super Bowl when it came to betting on Cincy last year with you. I gave out Cincy plus 3.5. They covered. They hit that. Then I took Tampa Bay on the money line the year before that. So check on that one as well. I'm keeping with that same mentality going into this game. I am going to go against the public money. I'm going to go with the dog money, even though it's just even money. That point and a half is not enough for me to. This is definitely going to be like a 3-point kind of game. It's going to be a very tight game in my opinion, but unless there's some crazy 2-point conversion, which obviously could happen the way these two teams run the ball and have some creative, offense at the line there. But I'm going to avoid the one. I'm going to take the even odds where I can, and I'm running with that with KC. So yeah, that's where I'm going with my second bet.
I like it. Now, what should you do if you're someone like me and has KC 12-1 and Eagles 30-1? Just sit it out?
Yeah, absolutely. You're sitting so pretty, man. Like, unless you want to just find a way to, I mean, you said 12-1 on Philly?
I got 12-1 at KC was 12-1 in April. Let that sit.
Yeah.
And I also have Philly 30-1 from April.
Yeah, you're just sitting and enjoying the show, man.
And then also, what's crazy? I got Mahomes at plus 450 to have the most passing yards, which he did. And then I got Mahomes at 7-1 to be the MVP, which was announced last night. Mahomes could be funding my next vacation. I guess that's my point. He could easily be funding my next vacation with the futures I've hit. I like it.
That's awesome. I think you're if I'm you, I'm just sitting back relaxing.
I like it. And you know what? I'll let you in a secret. I'm a closet math nerd. I'm pretty good at math.
Okay.
So this is the math I have for you, and I was playing around with this when you were talking. Who are the two most logical guys to win MVP? Mahomes and Kelce, right? For the Chiefs. Right. So Mahomes is plus 130. Kelce is plus 1,600, 16-1. If I put $100 on Mahomes and then $13.53 on Kelce at 16-1, I've just locked myself into a $116 profit either way.
Yeah, assuming the Chiefs win.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but you know what I mean?
That just backs up my statement, right? Going with that, if you're going down the path of committing to that team and that side, you 100% know it's going to be those two players. I mean, it's always a QB. You got to put money on the QB for MVP.
So hypothetically, let's say I'm listening to this or watching this on YouTube.
Yep.
And I have $200. Do you think I put $200 on the money line, or do you think I put 100 on the money line and then do what I just in case something? You know what I mean? Hypothetically, it's a defensive struggle and Chris Jones has 5 sacks, or you know what I mean? Something funky, or would you just put all your money on the Chiefs just to eliminate the liability risk? I guess that's my question.
Yeah, I mean, I get creative when I start looking at even odds across the board somewhere, or just underdog odds, and where I'm trying to then split out my one unit of play, if you will. Let's call that a full unit, right? $200 is your unit. I'll put $100 on the Chiefs money line, knowing, okay, that's half of it there. And then I would probably split the other half across those two MVP bets, and, just see if you hit just kind of all 3 in a row somehow. Obviously the one is going to miss, but you're at least, to your point, reducing your liability across by having both of them covered. So it's kind of a hedge, but it's a small hedge, but it's still a profitable hedge. So
yeah, it's just a different way to think about it. Now, obviously, the Chiefs can win and someone else could win the MVP, but I'm saying 99% of the time it's either going to be Kelce or Mahomes.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
Yeah,
I mean, no other names really stick out to me. It's not like anybody in their backfield's really,
I mean, maybe
a rotating backfield, and maybe one of the
receivers Pacheco a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
still going. Maybe because the Eagles can be run on, but I don't think a running back has won it in like 15 years.
Well, that was what I'm thinking of too. I'm like, I would think quarterback or tight end. I mean, Kelsey for sure.
So
Like,
it's just another way. And like with the Super Bowl, there's so many creative ways to play it, which brings me to my final bet.
okay.
Now this one, like we talked about last time we talked, Chiefs, sacks, got Jones early. But I'm going the different direction. I'm taking the Eagles to have the most sacks in the game at plus 109. I have my little rankings where I rank offensive line and defensive line. I have the Eagles defensive line in pass pro, getting to the quarterback as number 1. I have the Chiefs as 17. I think they're going to be able to get home. I think with Reddick having such a great game, that it's going to open up stuff for Sweat, who has 5 sacks in his last 5 games, Hargrave, who got 1 sack last time. And I think it's going to open up stuff for them to be able to get home. And I think the Eagles' offensive line is going to be able to protect Hurts enough where he's not going to be pressured as much as Mahomes is. So I like sacks plus 109. I will say this. I got Reddick. They had Reddick at plus 120 on FanDuel for a sack. That's all the way up to minus 196. I wouldn't play that. But I do think there's some value in the Sweat and Hargrave to get a sack props because both those are plus 160 and plus 175 last time I checked. But I'll just play the Eagles to have more sacks at plus 109.
I think that's awesome. Also, to you being such a math nerd, as soon as you told me those numbers of what you had for your lines of the Chiefs and Eagles, that is funny. Mine are not far off from you. I got Eagles as number 3 and the Chiefs at 14. So
yeah, just right there.
I'm right there with you, within 3 deviation. But like, man, I think that is great. I think plus odds on that defensive line it makes sense.
I think this is going to be a great game, and it definitely should be because it has big shoes to fill in because that game last year was an absolute barn burner. And we have my girl Rihanna. Hopefully she plays. I'll be honest, I was very amazed by my lack of Rihanna knowledge. I think the only songs I know are Umbrella, Unfaithful, and Shut Up and Drive. I think those are the only Rihanna songs I know. So I was a little disappointed in myself for my lack of pop culture, but that's what happens when you get old.
You didn't know about her birthday cake song?
No. No idea, dude. No idea. But you know what? I can name every single Eazy-E, every single Bone Thugs.
I'm with you on that. I'm right there with you on that too.
I go 3 Rihanna songs. That's all I bring to the table. That is literally all I bring to the table.
That's good.
David, thanks for coming on. We are going to actually continue this, but we're going to be shifting over to either doing college or NBA because that's going to be a big thing moving forward.
Yep.
So this is going to continue. So I'm looking forward to that. We have set a very high bar in NFL going 36, 23, and 3. So I'm looking forward to that. No pressure, but I did have LMU money line and Purdue Pepperdine money line last night. No pressure, whatever. But, I like those dogs, man. So, David, thanks for coming on. Make sure to give him a follow, and we'll be talking some hoops next week, my friend.
Thanks, Eric.